Do you remember when you were dating? It was kind of like you were eagles. And here was you and your spouse-to-be, and you were flying high. There was no limits to how high you could fly. You were flying all over and enjoying just being together. It seemed like the world had stopped for the two of you, and the two of you could just fly anywhere you wanted to. You took extra time, you took time off from work, you went out for dinner, you went out for ice cream, you went and sat by the lake, and it was this discovery time when the two of you really got to know each other. Well, then that day came that you decided, let's get married, and that was a wonderful time of your life, and so you did. The day came, you got married, and it was as though someone came along and took a twist tie and they tied your legs. That's kind of what marriage is like. It's like two eagles who are trying to learn how to fly, and yet it's very difficult to fly when you have your legs tied together. And probably like most people, you never learned. Nobody ever sat down and said, let me teach you how to fly together. And so you were on your own. It was just as though you got launched on your wedding day, you were flying, and you noticed it was a little bit harder to fly. It seemed like the harder you worked, it seemed like sometimes the worse it got. And people said, you got to work hard at your marriage. And so you did. You were doing everything that you knew. You were doing everything that you could think of. But it seemed like when you were flapping, you were hurting the person that you loved. And so you learned to work a little bit less hard. And as you worked less hard, and your spouse did the same thing because she, of course, didn't want to hurt you, it seemed like the two of you began to descend. Well, eagles were born to fly. And here you were descending, and you knew it. You kept descending and descending until finally that day came that you started to walk. And you looked at each other and said, what happened? We shouldn't be walking. We were born to fly, but why are other eagles flying and we're walking? And then that day even came that maybe the two of you landed on a perch, and instead of talking and having fun together, here you were squawking at each other. And you stopped and you asked yourself a question. You asked, how could this be? What happened? How could we go from flying in the sky to squawking at each other? Well, I want to welcome you today. My name is Ed Durner, and this is Building Healthy Marriages. And I want to teach you how to fly together as eagles. That's what this is all about. I mean, the whole course is all about how two eagles can fly in tandem and take off and then fly to heights that others only imagine possible. And that's in your future. And I'm excited for this time together because you're going to learn so much. We're going to start today. And if you've been walking, you're going to start flying today. It doesn't matter if you just got married or you've been married over 50 years. It doesn't matter if your marriage is troubled today or if you're doing great. This is for every single marriage that you're going to find that today's the day, the first day towards the best time of your life, because the two of you are going to learn how to fly together, and you're going to fly so high that you can't even begin to imagine what it's going to be like.